Hey guys, this is Mac. Welcome back to my channel. Now hopefully you like the 300 Blackout and the AR-15 rifle platform as much as I do. Not only is this an incredibly fun caliber to shoot in this rifle, but it's great suppressed, and I'm finding out more about how great it is for hunting applications. Now as you can see, I've switched out my red dot for a little bit more power in this loophole scope. In today's video, we're going to be developing a load in a 300 Blackout cartridge, which is going to be great for deer and coyote hunting. And that's what's up next, so stay tuned. Now as you know, it's incredibly beneficial if you can reload your own bullets when you're shooting the 300 Blackout. It's a fairly expensive round to shoot, but if you already shoot 223 in your AR-15 rifles, there's a lot of crossover to this platform. The great thing about it is that all your parts for your 223 rifles work except the barrel. You can build an upper, simply switch out the barrel, and you're good to go in 300 Blackout. And also, if you reload at home, you probably already know as well that you can take your 223 brass, cut it down, and resize it to reload 300 Blackout. Now if you're not sure how to do this, click on the annotation up in the upper left where I've done a complete video that details from start to finish on how to convert your 223 into 300 Blackout and reload some really awesome bullets for about 25 cents a round. Now in today's video, we're going to develop a load specifically for hunting, whether it's going to be coyotes or even something as large as a deer. The 30 caliber bullet in the 300 Blackout has enough knockdown power to safely and effectively take these animals, while also being very easy to shoot in the AR-15 platform. Again, what we're looking for is the knockdown power of the 30 caliber bullet with also enough speed and velocity to make it an accurate round and to make it effective when taking your game. Now to get started, we'll need to start with our brass. And as you can see, I've already got some brass here that I've already prepped and actually primed. These were once fired brass that I loaded up previously and went and test fired. Brought them back home and cleaned them up and re-prepped them. Now you can cut down your own 223 cases, which I've showed how to do in my previous video, or you can do what I initially did and buy pre-prepared brass that's already been cut down and formed. And I got this from Palmetto State Armory. This was 1,000 rounds. And this brass looks really nice. It has different head stamps, but they all measure out very well. And before I trim my brass, I'm just going to make sure that it's close to my preferred overall length of the brass. And what I'm looking for here is a 1.365. This case is already 1.36, so it's the appropriate cut down length. But what I want to do is just trim it up and make sure that everything on the end of the case is nice and even. This is the Little Crow Gunworks World's Finest Case Trimmer. Works really well for me, just on any kind of drill. You just pop the case in, trim it up, and then you've got a nice and even trimmed case there. And I did take a couple of hundredths off of this, now 1.34, which is still okay. So now I've got a nice even case, and I'm going to go ahead and chamfer this case, deburr it, and then get ready to prime it. Now this is the small, very rudimentary hand chamfering and deburring tool that came in this Lee kit. It's easy to do single rounds using this, but I'll be very honest with you, if you're doing bulk reloading, it's not the greatest option. Your hand does get awfully sore after a while doing it this way. But you do get a very nice result. But then you've got a nice trimmed, chamfered and deburred case that's ready to be primed. Now to prime these cases, I use the Lee hand priming tool that came with the kit. It's very effective. however it is pretty slow. Again, bolt reloaders will not use these tools. However, since I'm reloading something for hunting, I'm only going to load, maybe 40 to 50 rounds. It's okay to go slow and take your time and use these very beginner-like tools. It's very simple. You use all of the same parts that you use for 223 because this is in effect a 223 case. Just slide it into the shell holder. I'm using CCI small rifle number 400 primers. You can also use 450s. Either work well. Just decide what you want to use for your preferred load workup. And I'll prime one, feel the back and make sure that the primer is seated properly and it's flat. And as you can see, once you've got your brass all sized and cut down, chamfered and deburred, this is actually a pretty quick process. Now we'll talk about what kind of powder and the actual projectile that we're using in this load. Now, Ogden or Hodgdon H110 powder is a really great 300 Blackout powder. It's a pistol powder primarily, however, its application does cross over a good bit to 300 Blackout, and with a wide variety of grain bullets, this powder is actually really good for supersonic applications. So that's what I've chosen, and there's actually lots of good reloading data available online, not only on the Ogden website, but also various bullet manufacturer websites using this powder. So again, this is the point in the video where I will again stress how important it is to use established data when reloading your bullets to make sure that you're doing it safely. My bullets as well are made by Sierra. They're called a Sierra Varminter. They're 110 grain, and they have a hollow point on the end, which is really great for hunting. There's really great expansion and knockdown power using this bullet, and this load workup should be good for around 2,000 to 2,100 feet per second, which would be great for varmint hunting. So this H110 powder and this bullet really great together, and when I get ready to start working up my load, as I said, the Sierra website has really good established data, which is safe actually for this bullet and powder. So I just have it saved on my phone. I pull it up, and it gives me overall length of 1.97. Also the accuracy load using this powder approximately 20 grains, with the hunting load being 20.5 grains. So I'm going to use both of those for my load today, and I'm going to go out and shoot them and test, see which one shoots best in my rifle, the 20 grain or the 20.5. If it weren't for hunting, I might use a lot different load variations, and maybe try some other powder charges in between there, or maybe a little less than 20. But for this particular application, I'm not going to do an extensive load workup. I'm going to use 20 and 20.5 and then choose which one's best for my rifle. Okay, we got our H110 powder loaded up in our powder dispenser. This very simplistic powder charge dispenser from Lee works really great. It comes as part of that kit. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and verified that I have 20 grains that will be dispensed with each charge. I'm going to measure this on my Lee powder scale as well. Now I'll just pop this on the scale and just let it settle out here. So there we go with 20 grains of powder. Now we're ready to start loading up some cases. I'll just grab a case, dispense one charge, visually inspect the powder. As you can see, this case is pretty full with this 20 grains. And also these bullets don't seat incredibly deep within the case, so that's right about where it should be. After loading up some of these, I've I've looked at enough of them now, I know that's just about perfect. Now I'll put my case inside to my loading press. I have my bullet seating die set for a cartridge overall length of 1.97. Go ahead and place my bullet into the case. And there is a completed cartridge. Of course, you'll always want to measure, make sure that you're at the appropriate length. And as you can see there is 1.974, which is absolutely right where I was shooting for. 1.975 is where I set this die. So that is one completed cartridge of the 110 grain Sierra varmints. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up about 20 of these. And then I'm going to reset my powder charge for 20.5, load up another 20. Then we're going to get out to the range and try these out. Really excited to try these out. I love these bullets. They just look really mean. It's a really great looking cartridge. And also, record keeping is really important, because it does me no good to reload all these bullets today if I don't remember what I actually did. There's a lot of numbers and calculations and things that you need to keep written down so that you can make repeatable and really high quality ammunition every time you reload. So every time I do a reload, every time I work up something, whether it's for 223 here or 300 Blackout, I always try to keep the best records, as well as when I go out and actually test these loads. And as you can see here, I've written down both, 110 grain Sierra varmint or hollow points, H110 powder. I'm using CCI 400 primers, and I also use my lengths that I trim my cases, as well as my overall length on my cartridges there. So a quick tip is to always keep a load book or some sort of record of what you do when you reload. See what this 110 grain varmint or hollow point will do at 100 yards. Ding! I'm just walking down range to check out the two groups that I just shot. I shot one with each load workup. This is literally the first 6 shots out of my gun with this 110 grain load workup, and I'm like super excited about these groups. Holy crap. I got a little sneak peek through the scope because I'm using a 3:9 variable scope, and as soon as I pop that last shot, like I'm literally running down here to look at these groups. Look at this. So this is the 20 grain group, and I mean, hold on, I got to get a ruler to measure this, because that is like definitely less than an inch. That's with 20 grains of H110, and I'm shooting at 100 yards. Like you can see my truck down there. I'm shooting prone off a sandbag. That's, I mean, clearly less than an inch. It's got to be maybe 3/4 of an inch, somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of an inch. So maybe 0.7 MOA, with all 3 holes touching each other. Here's the 20.5. This is supposedly the hunting load that Sierra lists under their load data. 20.5 grains of H110. Those 2 shots on top of each other. These are the farthest. I mean, still less than an inch. I mean, it's about 3/4 of an inch. So there's not a lot of difference in these. This one looks nicer because they're touching, but I mean, holy crap! That's the first 6 shots. I've still got like 15 of each load left to shoot. So I think I'm gonna go put down some 5-shot groups, and man, I love this bullet. Holy crap! I think we have a soda problem we need to take care of. Terminated. So if you're thinking about hunting with your 300 Blackout rifle, I hope today's video has been helpful to show you just how easy it is to reload your own ammunition, which will be extremely effective at hunting. And heck, this is even a really good round for home defense as well. So do some research, and hopefully this video has been helpful. Again, I want to point you toward my previous video on Beginner's Guide to Reloading the 300 Blackout, which will show you step by step from beginning to finish just how you can reload your own 300 Blackout cartridges at home.
Thanks for watching, and I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking on the video on the upper left. As a subscriber, you'll be immediately notified every time I upload a video on a weekly basis. And these videos include guns and gear reviews, as well as content that's always related to 3-gun. And also, to watch more of my most popular videos, click on the video on the lower left. Once again, this is Mac. As always, be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.